Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy for nerds by nerds. I am Nerdarchist Ted, and tonight we are going to play some 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. This is season 4, episode 7, Misery Mountain. This is an RPG crate game. So before we get into our players and who they are playing, let's just take a quick moment to thank the sponsor. You happen to already know who RPG Crate is, then no need for me to keep going. But for those that don't, RPG Crate is a monthly crate, monthly box full of RPG goodies that is sent to you. It has got cool material. They've got monster cards in their newest season, which has got a whole lot of information, a full stat block on the back. You can be able to show your players the one side, not let them see any of the stats. Artwork is fantastic. And the material that I'm running tonight is the stuff that is in the crates. This is an ongoing campaign, so therefore, the material that's here, I kind of chop up, shorten a little bit, add some of my own homebrew stuff to it so that it's more related to the individual characters where appropriate. Uh, but without further ado, let's get into our players. So let's start off with our producer for the evening, Jake.
Oh, hey, that's me. Hey, Internet, it's Jake. I am also known as Mini Terrain Domain, and that's where you can find me on YouTube and Twitch as Mini Terrain Domain. I'm on Twitter as at MTD_Jake. And I'm going to take the opportunity real quick to tell you to be sure to check out Mini Terrain Domain at the first week of May because Jasper's Game Week is coming and it's going to be huge. Also, I'm going to be right here on Nerdarchy on Monday afternoon with Dave for the live chats revivified. I think that's what you're calling them. So I'm really excited about that. And I am also very excited to once again be stepping into the shell of Ulrich Greybeard, the turtle barbarian who is a battle rager, even though he's a turtle.
All right. So why don't you take it away, V?
Oh, hi, that's me. Hi, everyone. I'm the Muse, also known as the Crafting Muse, pretty much everywhere on social media. I paint miniatures, I have commentary on Twitter a lot, and I play Animal Crossing a lot right now. No, I'm kidding. You can find me here, which I absolutely love doing. I'm also going to be doing one of those fun little interview things. I think it's May 8th that we decided on. Looking forward to that. And you can find me on my YouTube channel as well. Tonight, I'm going to be playing Bramblethorns. She is a tabaxi druid circular wildfire. She's something of a pyromaniac. I can't wait.
Asa?
Hi, I'm a Sakini with Roll for Mischief. We stream on Twitch every Tuesday. And, I don't do the social media thing very much, but I have some other players who are more up on that with Roll for Mischief. And I'll be playing Alvareth Braylon. He is a half-elf cleric of the storms. And, he'll just be doing his thing and getting lightning everywhere.
So Asa, are you sure your hit points are correct for a 7th level character?
Yes, I have 0 Constitution modifier, so it is just dice.
Wow, that is really low. I hope you're.
He is a bit of a glass cannon.
So the link to RPG Crate, their patron, and the links for all of these wonderful people are down in
Skipped me.
section below. Oh, I am so sorry, Megan.
For shame, for shame.
I've saved the best for last. Megan, please introduce yourself.
Oh, hi, I'm
He's
author
used to
Megan
be
R.
the
Miller.
last.
My books can be found on Amazon.com. The R is very important, or you won't be able to find me. I will be playing Omen, Tiefling, Paladin of Vengeance.
Wow, I feel really bad.
You shouldn't, it's fine.
So as I said, the links for RPG Crate and the links for all of these wonderful people to follow are going to be down in the section below. Go ahead and check them out after you watch this awesome game. So without further ado, let's dive in. So last time, for those who haven't been following along, you guys went and encountered some weird happenings in the forest. You helped escort some people back to town. and one of them, by the name of Akram, a hobgoblin that was dressed a little weird for hobgoblins, had said that he had something that you might be able to help him with after you went and dealt with that little problem. So, after you came back to Slaughter Pen, Akram reached out to you and said, "Would you be willing to transport me to Braden's Valley? And en route, I can let you know about the Arcanium." There's a group of hobgoblins that are not quite so into all of the looting, pillaging, raiding, what have you, that are more into the pursuits of arcane study. And obviously, this is the organization to which he belongs. So you guys travel for several days before you get within sight of Braden's Valley. And you were hoping to, just come upon a nice, peaceful town, everything all happy, hunky dory, to get into that which Akram was asking for. But the mountain that is looming in the distance had other plans. So as you cross the gates, the the blooming colors in the distance begin raining fire down upon the town as the long dormant volcano has apparently awoken. So you are in the midst of absolute chaos. As you see, lava pouring down the mountain, that's probably not, in your immediate need to deal with. But how are you dealing, or what are you doing with the townsfolk and yourselves as it is legitimately raining fire down upon you all?
It's raining fire and it's brambles.
Like I said.
Brambles would probably be standing in the middle of everything, grinning like a Cheshire cat. And she'll just be like, vaguely, "You want to get out of the area. Yeah, this might burn you. Doesn't feel so good for some, maybe some for others." But she's gonna be like thrilled because it's
so
raining fire.
So I am throwing complete agency over to you guys for the next several hours as all of this doom rains down upon Braden's Valley. Um, Please, figure out what it is that you want to do. Raise your hand, whoever wants to go first. Omen said it. So
Okay.
what is Omen doing? Are you
So
bird? Are
my
you helping people?
my very first impulse is to start organizing the townsfolk to get out of town and like into a sheltered place in the most organized manner possible. I imagine they're probably running around like chickens with their heads cut off. So I'm gonna like make a loud sound and pretty much threaten people to get in line or, get burned.
All right. Anyone else?
Alvareth is gonna, before helping Omen, tell her, "I told you it was a bad idea to come here." Well, at least Bramble's having a good time.
As long as Bramble's having fun. And I smirk at him.
And
So
I'll be,
Bramble, do you do anything beyond just casually?
Probably it's sort of like it's not like catching snowflakes on your tongue, but it's akin to every single time she sees something strike the ground, she's like running after it to look and see how it's burning, the
Gotta catch
intensity
that
of
red
it.
dot.
She just exactly she's after the red dot.
Are you doing anything to put out fires or start fires?
Well, right now she doesn't need to worry about the fires themselves because they're just kind of happening. She might like encourage some just to see if she can get them a little bit more intense, maybe if it's okay to burn. Like if a
Okay.
pile of hail got caught on fire, she'd be fine with that. But
Well,
she'd also like if she sees like a villager like catching on fire, she'd like quickly like pad the fire out and be like, "You need to go in there."
so the burning houses, what do you deal? Do you let them just go, or do you have any
She has
to put that out?
she has nothing to stop them. Like there's no water spells in this girl's repertoire.
All right.
So
Uh,
it'd be
I
more
do
like that
believe,
one's definitely gonna burn down just because she knows how fire works. She'll be like the one like, "Don't go to that house. That one's like done."
Okay, if
could.
B has an idea which of the houses are going to stay standing longest, then Omen is going to start ushering people into like the stone structures that won't burn that B says will stay standing and like weather this.
And Alvarez could be casting Sleet Storm in an attempt to, just go ahead and cool down things a bit.
Okay. Akram, as you guys were traveling with him, he does have a little bit of magic, some things you might not have seen before, but he is helping a little bit as well in that regards. What about you, Jake?
As the others are doing their things, I imagine as you see each of them, Alvarez casting Sleet Storm, and then you see Omen is terrifying people into safety, and Bramble is sort of occasionally putting the errant singed villager out, but otherwise watching it burn. You just always in the background is Rarick, moving to a structure that hasn't started to burn, and maybe grabbing like a lean to a structure of bamboo and other stuff that's bigger. It's still flammable, but grabbing it as a temporary shield, hoisting it across his back, and then moving so villagers can move underneath this temporary shelter. Like maybe some of the village children or smaller folk occasionally just standing hunched over, and they take safety under refuge of his shell. As soon as this happened, Rarick would have moved right into people protection. I imagine he's getting a bit singed, putting his body in the way. There's probably some pock marks, or maybe even I would imagine that at some point some of this molten rock hits his shell and sort of starts to solidify. And maybe later Rarick would be able to, with some assistance, shape this molten rock into additional spikes on his armor or something. No mechanical advantage, but just for the way, just adding to those spikes. But yeah, he's absolutely sacrificing himself for the sake of keeping everybody else safe that he can, and keeping an eye on Omen and Bramble and Alvarez to make sure that they're staying safe as well. I can just picture at one point as Bramble's running from molten rock falling to another one, watching something burn particularly nicely, not noticing that a lava flow is coming up behind her, and just sort of, as I walk by with this structure across my back, just reaching out with a claw and hooking the shoulder of her armor or something, and just spinning her so she moves out of the way. Probably doesn't even know that I just saved you from lava.
The village is a little bit farther away from the mountain, but there definitely could have been a large chunk of molten rain that might have hit her, that you could have pulled Bramble out of the way of, for certain. So that is your evening, and eventually things subside, at least for now. Uh, it is absolute and utter chaos. Half of the villagers are worried. They tell you that this village was created, because the mountain hasn't awoke in over 100 years. Um, you find out that the name Braden's Valley was actually um, named for the oldest member of this town, as he was the one who kind of helped gather things, and it's a older half elf by the name of Braden. Much older now. You can see his hair is white and missing in most places, and he was definitely trouble to get moving and get into safety. But he certainly applauds all of your efforts in saving as many people as you could. Um, there are certainly those who were caught in the flames, either buildings that went up quickly or were struck by the raining flames and nobody got to them in time. So as things settle down, people begin to count those who didn't quite make it out of the fire. Uh, but Braden says, he's curious as to why this mountain, being dormant for so long, has decided to, now reignite. There were no typical signs, and is asking, is imploring almost that someone go investigate this this mountain.
You want me to go check out the fire mountain now?
Wouldn't mind, no.
It seems as though you've already got us peaked. So I've got one question for you. What have you done to piss off the mountain lately?
We,
Silverith.
we've done nothing. I mean, we don't send people out there. We settled here because it was a quiet place for farmers and small folk to just have a life.
Well, yes, because the ground gets much better after good fire. It's good nutrients for the crops.
Well, that's all right and understandable, but where I come from, everything's got a bit of a spirit, and all of them need to be appeased somehow, and they don't stay quiet for no reason at all. Either through inaction or action, something's happened to piss off your mountain. So
Maybe.
Volcanoes don't get offended by things.
Well, you'll never know. It could be an elemental in there.
I guess
Sometimes
that's
that
possible.
happens. You haven't done any sacrifices or stopped doing any sacrifices, have you?
oh, and you do know my
don't-
god, is a giant cloud.
We don't sacrifice people here.
Yeah, just ruling out, going through the checklist, ruling things out. Maybe you
Do
should
your
have.
people sacrifice them?
Not my people personally, but I've heard of rumors of some people sacrificing things to volcanoes.
So the hobgoblin steps up. You know, you understand, going into a recently exploded volcano is going to be hot. You're aware of this, right?
And
Do you have magics to protect you from the heat?
I mean, I could
Everybody looks at Bramble.
maybe not protect, unless you can fight fire with fire.
I don't believe the adding extra heat to heat is going to allow you to stave off what it will do to your bodies.
Well, then why have the fire with fire thing?
just.
I'm certain you actually know the answer to that.
Well, I do, but still, it's fun to question.
Well, I too am curious about what is going on. If it is something from a mystical perspective, perhaps I might be able to lend assistance. And I actually do have magics that would protect us from the heat, if you were so inclined.
A
Well-
question: if it protects us, does that mean I can't produce it?
No, it would be an enchantment to keep you cool and, well, hydrated, as the heat of the volcano would try to draw it out of you.
Hydration's very important.
Well,
I would
I'm pretty sure I have spells
probably-
that could solve this problem too, but I'll leave it up to you.
Probably be able to do this in the mask the entire time, but we're sitting here talking about how hot it is, and I'm sweating, and I'm just like, can't.
We're just getting into character, that's all.
Yeah.
So, when do you all want to set out?
I wouldn't mind taking a bit of a rest. I exhausted myself pretty thoroughly protecting all these people from the flames.
Well, then, perhaps we'll set off in the morning then.
That sounds agreeable.
Is there anything that anyone wishes to do as the night passes on?
Bramble would actually go around and like help heal some of the villagers who are like more severely wounded.
Mm-hmm.
And
And Alvarez would do a funeral rite for those who had passed.
Okay. So you actually do manage to, save a handful of people's lives by administering magic, straight away, and the people are, incredibly thankful. While there is some magic here in town, healing magic is not as prevalent. And then for those that did, pass, funeral rites is one thing, digging graves is another. Not certain if you have time for that, and given the situation, nobody's really interested in doing the pyre thing.
I think I know someone who could dig some graves.
I think he's looking at you, Eric.
That's what you want from me. Then I will dig graves.
Good.
So while
if the healing's done, I can help with that too.
while all of this, manages to go by, Omen and Rarick, they get, shackle off, or shuckle off, armor and gear and get to digging. It's long, exhausting work. Um, and you go through digging a handful of graves as the night passes on. The gray clouds, pass away into, dark of night before the two of you finally get through, and you stumble back into town, finding whatever it is that's gonna be your bed for the evening. And the two of you quickly pass out. Bramble's dreams that night, race with the thoughts of, fire and flame descending upon the town, thinking about all the different ways that, the fire could have burned more, done more damage. It's up to you as to how happy or unsettling, this happens to be, before the morning light finds you all, and what meager breakfast can be put together by the town. All of you are able to get something to eat before setting off towards Misery Mountain.
Aptly named.
It has been here much longer the than the village. That has definitely seen better days.
All right.
So as you begin your journey out of the village, you look and you see that, this is, positioned in a way that the lava that did come out did not come in this particular direction. Um, had it been so, some of the outlying houses might have been caught in the most recent flow. There are definitely, signs of, nature and creatures that did not fare as well as those who remained back in town or yourselves. It is it is actually a little surprising, though. Off in the distance, you can make out, Bramble, a bear, and you can see its, brown fur, but it's acting a bit weird, and you can see, like, as if the fires from last night, across this vast distance. It's, hundreds of feet away. It's as its eyes look in your direction. You see flame as it lets loose a roar. Whether it's in pain or just in general challenge to the destruction. A gout of flame comes out of its mouth as it begins just wandering away. And though you might not see it, its paw prints leaving singe marks where it walks.
That is not normal.
No, that's not good. I mean, I spew fire, but there's reasons for it. A random bear.
If you are
Yeah.
saying it is not good, then it is even worse than I thought.
Well, yeah. Do we follow it and take care of it? That's not something you want wandering around, because, Puff the Magic Dragon, it might set other things on fire.
Your choice. I'll just follow along.
Well, the
You're making...
Akram steps up and says, I think the bear is a much smaller problem than the mountain. Perhaps if we deal with that first, we might be able to track the bear later.
What he said. I like that.
All right.
I'm sure it won't be too hard to find. I mean, the woods is made of wood.
Yeah, I mean, fire-breathing bear doesn't exactly blend.
If somebody wanted to notify the town, that would be one thing. But
Right.
Watch out for Smokey.
Anyone have a way of doing that without turning back and going to the town?
you're not all that far, maybe 10 minutes.
Which of us is the fastest?
Hi.
Probably. I was gonna say probably me, ironically, but no, we have a tabaxi that can.
In that case,
As long
would
as you run
mind?
really fast, stop for a second, and then run really fast and stop for a
Well, I
second.
think I even have like that specific trait where
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I
That's
have
what
this
I
like
mean.
I can increase my so. Okay, so yeah, Bramble. I mean, it's also like she gets to announce that something else is causing fire. So
Just remember, you are supposed to warn them. Try not to make it look like this is something you are excited to see. They probably won't see it the same way you do.
So, watch out, folks. There's a fire-breathing bear out there.
Yes, as opposed to saying, "Hey, everybody, there's a fire-breathing bear."
I can't smile?
They might not take it as good news as you do. Is all I'm
What
saying.
if I like scream really loud so I think it's like, I'm grimacing, but I can also grin about it.
You do what you need to get the point across to them.
Okay, that I can do. Could I reenact it?
If that's what makes you happy.
Well, then I can, little fire. It breathes fire and just, send out some flames. Why not?
Again, trying to warn them, not trying to frighten them more.
Oh,
Whatever you do, be quick, because we don't want to wait too long.
right, I'll be right back. Give me about a half hour tops. If I take longer, I got distracted.
You don't want to wait too long. It's okay to wait 8 hours while you rest up, but don't take an extra half hour.
No, not when you're on the road. You wait for me, I don't wait for you.
So you deliver the message in a very Bramble way. Trying not to grin but make it come across as a grimace. Do you want to make a persuasion roll or charisma roll? See how well this comes across?
yeah, because she's really charismatic. You said persuasion?
Yes, if you have it.
Okay. All right. 2?
So you try really hard to not make it sound enthusiastic. But you fail. Like you are just ecstatic that there is this bear and you just can't keep it in. And through the whole speech, you've got Rarik's, voice in your head, try to do this, try to do that, try not to do this. And you like, nope. Oh my God, it's so awesome. There's a fire breathing bear out there. people are, trying to, figure out like, okay, who's got weapons, they think it's right outside. So it takes a little bit longer for you to like, no, it's just out there. We're just trying to let you know. Um, so eventually you are able to calm them down and be able to say, look, I'm just trying to let you know that it's there. I got to go deal with this whole mountain thing. And you take off. So in the meantime, you guys have, begun, setting your slow pace towards the mountain, leaving a trail for Bramble to easily catch up to you guys. And without, you know, too much fanfare, Bramble is able to return as you begin to make your way towards this mountain that blew out lava last night. As crazy as it is. So you guys have had time with Akram. He's not super talkative, and when you ask questions about the Arcanium beyond the little bit of information, he really hasn't been super forthcoming. You guys slog for several hours up this mountain. Every so often, he takes a minute and he traces a small rune with this blue liquid as he draws on each of you, and as the magic takes effect, you begin to instantly feel cooler, almost a normal temperature for the the area that you're in. Yet you know that it is immensely hot. Seeing that there is no foliage around, there is no thing that grows. You haven't encountered anything that's alive, and you're shocked when you come upon a a camp. This side of the mountain, as you're well aware, which is why you're hiking up this one, didn't get beset by lava. But there's a handful of tents. There is a small fire going. There's a tripod over top with a stew, still sitting in there. The radiant heat of the mountain has kept this particular meal warm, despite the fact that the embers have long since stopped burning. You stop to investigate, or do you continue on?
Well, every time that Akram has been casting the rune, Alvareth will point it out and say, "Oh, what does that do?" And probably by the third time, he might figure out that Alvareth's just sort of poking him, teasing him a little bit. Uh, but as we get closer to this camp, I will cast Aid on the party to increase
Okay.
everyone's maximum hit points by 5, except for sadly myself. Actually, I'm gonna take myself from this, and I'm gonna not target. Oh, who? I'm not gonna target Bramble because I'm gonna say I cast it while she was gone.
Okay. All right. So those of you have the hit points increased. That is your max, not temporary, because 8 is awesome. So do you explore the camp? Do you just continue on?
I mean, yeah, I think we're trying to figure out what happened here. It would be kind of foolish not to poke around a little bit
Yeah.
because this is unusual and it's beyond the point where people should be.
Right.
Yes, I would.
So
I would
go ahead.
crouch down next to the campfire and just start looking around and see if I can get an assessment of how many individuals were here. Maybe looking for tracks, seeing how long the fire's been burning, that kind of stuff.
I will assist.
All right. So go ahead, Ririk, and make a survival check with advantage.
All right, that's going to be so. That's a 13.
That's a 13. Well, you know that there are at least 3 people. Even though there are only two tents in this particular area, um, just based on the amount of movement, things disturbed, the different size footprints, but there's so much crisscross. It's possible that there were, as many as four. Tents were big enough for, uh, two-person each or up to three-person each if they were squishing. The size you would probably guess, around 6 feet tall, armored, just based on how deep the footprints are and the structure of them. They're more boot prints than footprints. Sadly, that doesn't really give you much in the way of, um, racial identification. Um, was there any other details you were trying to find?
I mean, that's pretty much what I'd said that I was looking for.
Okay. So while Omen and Rarick are doing this, what are Bramble and Alvarez doing?
She'd be like talking about.
I told them about the bear. I tried to keep good about it. They're a little agitated.
That's fine. They'll get over it. They always
Okay.
do.
I really did try, but fire.
I think you did a good job. A miraculous job. You're very admirable.
All right. Thank you.
Could I like look at sort of like the outer area to see if there's anything in terms of more like if there's any like odd areas that weren't burned or anything like that?
Yeah, if you would like to make a survival roll.
Okay. Oh, I'm not doing well tonight. Well, actually, no, that's not too bad. That's a 13.
All right, so you're not really able to ascertain any much more information. Um, you do see, two pairs of prints walking away from camp, not towards town, but kind of, you know, away from the mountain. It could be in that general direction, but nothing that would say like, "Oh my God, they're going after the town" or anything. Um, but it definitely confirms that there was at least two people walking together. Um, Again, the depth of the footprints. There's nothing that shows any kind of magic that would have protected
Okay.
anything in this area.
Okay.
Nothing that seems unnatural based on
Okay.
the standard of effects of heat in this area. So Akram is kind of poking around, looking around. Did any of you go in any of the tents?
I will. Yeah. Alvarez will poke his head into like kind of open the flaps and look inside.
So Akram is interested in this as well, and he's kind of walked around trying to like see what each of you are doing, and then he once he realizes that we're not able to gather any new information, he pokes his head in, and he notices that like you guys see that there's a symbol clearly on a chain on his neck, matches some of the imagery on his robes. um but he pulls out a sash, same color as his robes, and then that necklace that he's wearing, that design is on the sash, and he looks very puzzled as to why someone from the Arcanium would be here.
Find something of note there.
Yes. Either someone from my order is in this particular area, or someone has taken this from one of my order and is out in this area.
Hmm. And what do you think is most likely?
Neither makes any sense. I would hope for the latter, as much as I would hate for ill to befall my brethren, but I don't know of any reason why anyone would be out here.
And if they were, what then?
They would have some explaining to do.
So it's possible someone has betrayed your order.
I would say that is likely.
And if that's the case, do you consider it your responsibility to bring them to justice, or would you have us be lenient with them?
No, I'm very much for justice.
All right. All I needed to know.
Good. Because if they started the volcano, we're probably just going to kill them.
Alvarez.
No,
Just
It's
killing
important
someone
that he
is
knows.
very different from throwing them into a volcano, don't you know?
no, he's saying that if they started the volcano, that he's going to kill them. I
Yes.
can't really
Yeah.
fault much there.
Well, maybe that's a sacrifice that's needed.
Indeed.
But
Akram is has a hobgoblin. Does he have like the hobgoblin mutton chops that are in the monster
Sure.
manual?
Yeah, absolutely.
As an unrelated note, Alvaro's going to kind of make note of his beard and say, with chops like that, you're most likely to catch fire, much more likely than any of us.
Alvarez.
Are you saying I should get rid of it?
No. It's quite magnificent. If I could grow a beard.
I mean, you can singe your whiskers. Speaking from experience.
Yes, you would know.
Well, shall we head on? Do we wish to do anything more here? You guys,
Time to go.
could try to, ransack the tents. There is the food that's there.
I do think taking a moment to find anything useful in the tents would be worth our while, especially considering we're going deeper into this sort of dangerous terrain.
Well, Alvarez, that seems like a sensible suggestion.
The next time I'll say it in character.
Yeah, I'm looking at my one day's ration of food in my pack, and that seems like a good idea.
What is the good idea?
Looking for food.
Ransacking the tents.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
doing the standard, press X to take all.
Okay. Well, there is no food inside any of the tents. There's, handful of trinkets and odds and ends, 15, 20 gold worth of whatever standard gear you might be looking for. Feel free to take liberty there. But there is the whole stew pot full of, several meals there.
Whoa, what's this? A Vorpal sword? Oh, you said standard gear.
Standard gear.
Sorry, I heard take liberty and
take liberty with 15 to 20 gold worth of, insert whatever.
Oh, it's not a Vorpal sword. It's a knockoff. It's called a Warple sword.
It goes nick or knack.
It's just made of Warbler.
How much water do we find?
None.
Okay, that is interesting.
There's
not interesting. It's cool. Well, once we find what we need, we move on.
All right. So, a little ways up the side of the mountain. Now as you get further towards the peak, even with Akram's, enchantment, you're beginning to feel the heat. It's not pushing through, causing any kind of effects as of yet. But it is certainly, the hottest that you've ever felt being this close, and you can feel the source as a small cave opening. You can feel the heat waves coming out of it before you even get to be able to see it.
As we get near the mouth of the cave, I'm going to cast protection from elements on myself. Feeling the need to protect myself from the heat.
Okay. So do you guys enter into the tunnel? Enter into the open?
Oh, yeah. I also misspoke. It's protection from energy, but yeah. And I'm
ready.
fire.
Let's go.
So the tunnel descends sharply into the volcano, winding about before opening into a large chamber. The walls are naturally worn and not worked by tools. The air is terribly dry and hot. There are no signs of mold or any other kind of life. So the tunnel kind of twists and bends as you descend into this uh, you know volcano, into this opening before it opens up into a larger chamber. The columns that support the ceiling of this chamber are aged and pitted. However, the bas relief carvings can still be made out depicting scenes of fire gods and ancient rites of passage to adulthood involving burning rituals. The coals over which the figures walk seem to glow and even smoke slightly. So almost as if these artworks,
These two.
signs of,
One on the bottom are rotten, and they're bringing in pissants. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not realize I wasn't muted.
no worries.
Happens to us all.
So what do you guys do?
I'm gonna look at everyone and say, "See, I told you. Some kind of fire god. It's always some being that's pissed off at everyone else." And
I
then
mean, look at.
I'm gonna do a religion check to see if I know anything about this. Ooh, I'm not trained in religion. Wow. Okay, that's a 11.
That's an 11.
Oops.
Yeah. That's one of those things that clearly there's a fire god here. Who this is or who this was, you're not entirely certain.
I'm gonna
But
turn to the group and declare it's IMAX. I know it. It's IMAX. He is coming, and they're gonna. We're. This whole village was built to sacrifice to IMAX to appease him. That's how it works. Now elementals are gonna come all out of everywhere, and they're gonna burn everything.
I look to Bramble.
Just for fun, while looking over Alvarez's shoulder, I rolled a religion check. And with a nat 1, I reach out with a claw to scratch at one of these drawings, and I imagine like a part of a tile or a piece of it sort of chips away. And while Alvarez talking, I'm like trying to put it back and end up taking it and just kind of, while nobody's looking, just chucking it aside and just agreeing with Alvarez, nodding.
God, if you didn't already have inspiration, I would give you mine right now.
What's amusing there, Rarick, is that even though you pluck a tile off of one of these columns, it does not mar the image.
With a nat 1, I don't think I would notice that. I really don't. I legit, I was like, I'm just going to see. Yeah, I got a crit fail on that, so. I mean,
I would say that Bramble might, I don't know exactly what Bramble's doing at this point. You certainly would notice Rarick toss something to a side, but it's up to you as to whether or not you want to have noticed him pluck the thing off the wall.
I would have been looking at the artwork on the walls anyways because of the whole walking on the coals and that type of thing. Immediately would have been like, beacon mode for her.
Mhm.
So it would have been already heightened senses looking and paying attention to the depictions that are happening around.
Okay.
So you want me to do a perception check to see if I pick up on what he was doing?
No, I'm saying I'm giving you.
Oh.
You have a high enough passive.
Oh, okay.
You would have been able to see it. It's your call as to whether or not you did.
I see what you mean now. She would have like sort of cocked an eyebrow and looked over to him and not saying anything, but just sort of like a curious, piercing stare and like look over to where it went and look back to him.
What? Why are you staring at me like that?
What are you doing? Why are you doing that?
I was trying to help Alvarez with what he said. It appears there is some truth here.
Well, yes, there's something about it, but I don't know who this Amex is.
It's IMAX. It's an I. I know you can't always tell, but
IMAX.
yeah, something like that. Then I'll turn to
Wasn't
to
Amex the one who lends you gold?
Yeah, right. You're really good Obsidian.
I'm gonna turn to Akram and say, what does your Arcanium say about what's going on in here? Does any of this ring a bell?
Well, I'm not one to study the gods, but more magic. And I would certainly say that there is magic about here. And he kind of, he doesn't have claws like, Bramble or even Rarick, but he kind of like scratches at the column and it doesn't mar the drawing at all. Magic.
Seeing him do that, she would like take her claws and like rake it. So like you can actually yeah, right, like scratching post.
It's like the perfect scratching post. I could do this all day and it doesn't change.
So, it eventually, begins to hurt a little bit. Natural claws on stone is not exactly comfortable, but you do pull off, a handful of tiles, and they, click or clack to the floor at your feet, and stone on stone. But the image is, stands there unmarred, still continuing to do what it does. Looking like the images just slightly moving, looking like the fire glows and smoke arises.
Like Harry Potter newspaper type of stuff? Animation?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh dear God.
did the tracks that left the camp, did they lead in this direction? Are we
No,
sure?
they were going away.
Oh, okay. So that's good to know. And the rest of the cave is natural formation.
Yes, it does appear so.
Alvaroth will be kind of looking around, specifically looking for natural metals or gems that might be about. Just a thing he likes to do.
So how far are you willing to explore to try and
This is one of those moments where everyone does stuff while Alvarez sort of finds a reason to be distracted and then stares around the room while they all make decisions around him.
all right. So you wander away is what I'm hearing?
Uh yeah, I'll wander maybe 60 feet from the group, like kind of try to maintain a cautious distance or cautious
So
closeness.
you find an archway that leads on, and at first you see this thing, and you're looking for metals, and metals glint. There's heat and flame around. Um, well, you're seeing the light from like a legitimate lava flow flickering off of from what you can see at this moment, what seems to be a chair made of black glass.
I'll turn
Ooh.
to the rest of the group, thinking everyone is kind of right behind me, and just, hey, you should take a look at. Oh, uh, hey everyone, come here, take a look at this.
I sigh, realizing Alvarez has wandered off again, and follow the sound of his voice.
Maybe we should get him a
Thinking
collar
he's-
with a bell.
We really should.
So
We should put him on a
as
leash or
you
something.
as you turn and shout back to the group, an arrow of flame strikes you in the back. You are currently resistant to fire.
Yeah,
You take 5 points of fire damage.
there goes my extended hit points. Boom. Thank you. Well, that fucking hurt. And I'll spin around in the direction that the fire came from.
All right,
I'm running now, since he yelled that fucking hurt. And obviously he's gotten himself into trouble again.
Yep.
Let's go.
So as you look, there's an archway, and it's probably a good solid 10-15 foot archway leading off into another room where you saw this lava flow, and you happen to see a what you see. You see two hobgoblins, dressed in somewhat similar robes to Occam, but their hair has been, changed or dyed to a fiery, reddish orange, and there seems to be like an aura of flame licking around, like almost like not like a halo up here, but like an aura around their head, emanating from their shoulders, and that's what you see.
All right. Then I'm going to pull out my shield and unsheath my dagger and clink them together, and then slowly step back, hoping my rest of my friends are coming to my help, to my aid help.
Indeed.
When do we roll initiative?
If you guys want to do that now, we can totally turn on the combat music and go ahead.
Oh no! Somebody shot my idiot. They're definitely getting the whip.
I've already drawn the giggle axe.
If you want to throw initiative in the chat.
Oh shit! I almost drew 202.
Wow, that would be the highest initiative ever.
I get advantage on initiative, and even I can't roll that high.
Even if you accidentally rolled a D100.
I was really excited about my nat 20 on my initiative.
All right, so Alvareth. Then we have Bramble. Trying to math in my head. And we have Rarick. And then last is Omen. And somewhere in all of that mix is going to be the Hobgoblins. All right. Alvarez, what are you doing?
Well, how far away are the Hobgoblins?
They are 35 feet from you.
All right. Alvarez is going to attempt to do a thing he's never done before, and he is going to chuck his dagger at the nearest one.
Okay.
Did you say this was a masterwork dagger? Does it have like a bonus at all?
No, it's just made nicely.
Okay. Well, hopefully I don't lose it with my grand total of 10 to hit, which is going to miss.
The 10 actually hits.
Oh, shit. Okay. That's 6 damage.
6 damage to Hobgoblin number 1.
And then I'm going to look down and go, oh, shit. And then attempt to pull out my crossbow.
Okay. Bramble, what are you doing?
How far away are they from us as we start heading towards him?
They are 35 feet from him, so it's a matter of how far away from him you are.
All right. Well, I'm thinking within 90 feet then.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to cast Entangle. Are they standing near each other?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to cast Entangle on the two hobgoblins.
Okay. That is Dex, correct?
Strength.
Strength?
Mm-hmm.
What is your DC?
14.
14. All right. They are entangled.
Woohoo! Sweet.
So they will not be moving towards you guys. All right, Rarick, what are you doing?
How far away are they?
How far away from Alvarez were you? They are 35 feet from him.
I think I said about 60 feet, so they're about 95 feet away.
I'm going to... Far. I don't like that. Not like this at all. I guess that I'm going to come running up behind Alvarez to see what's going on. He's 60 feet away. I can get to within that would be, I'm gonna move 40, so that's what, still like 55 feet. Perfect. Can I see them from this far back?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to pull out 2 javelins and hurl them at these fools.
Okay.
That will be at disadvantage because it's more than 30 feet away.
Indeed.
So that is
Still
gonna
hit.
that's gonna be a 13 on the first one,
Yep.
and a 22 or 21 on the second one.
21 with disadvantage. Nice.
Yeah, they both rolled 15s on that. So that is going to be the first one will hit the first guy for 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And the second
Are they
one
both-
will hit the
are
other
they
guy
both
for
from the same
5.
guy?
What's that? No, they were 1 at each guy.
Okay.
So the other guy gets 5.
Okay. They are both still standing. Omen.
All right, I'm gonna get in range and cast Shield of Faith on Alvarez.
Okay.
That raises your AC by 2.
Can I also bonus action rage at the end of that action?
Sure.
Because I'm mad that I can't get close enough to him.
I'm actually really curious as to what that was going to be, Asa.
What? What I said?
What were you saying? Yeah.
Oh, thanks, doll.
Does Omen not like being called doll?
No, not one bit.
Does Alvarez notice? Probably not one bit.
Oh my god.
So
I
very
ship
low
it.
wisdom. Well, he does have wisdom. It happens.
All right. So who got close to Alvarez?
I got
Uh,
within 20 feet of him.
Okay.
I would have to get the spell cast on the hobgoblins. Yeah.
All right.
I am slower than those two, and I'm in plate, so not as close.
So both of the hobgoblins begin pulling, wisps of fire, and like the aura around their head doesn't seem to diminish, but as they're pulling it, it's collecting in their hands, and they both shoot it forward. So I need the 3 of you to go ahead and make 2 dexterity saving throws.
Ooh. I get it.
I don't.
You want them both at the same time?
Huh?
You want them both at the same time?
That doesn't yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna inspiration one of them.
I got a natural 20.
It didn't do much better.
Well, I'm glad you use it on this.
Right. So the first one is a 21, and the second one is an 8.
DC is 15.
Okay, I failed them both.
Success fail.
So
I failed 1 then.
the first one is a piddly 8 points of fire damage. 4 if you pass your save. Second one is significantly higher. That is 14.
Of course, that's the one I failed.
That's the one I didn't fail. Okay,
So 7 if you pass.
Okay.
And I have resistance to all those, so I take the 4 and the 7.
Okay, so all right. We are at the top of the order. We are at Alvarez.
All right. Do I have time to have drawn and crossbow's two-handed weapon? A two-handed weapon, isn't it?
Yeah.
That
Is it a regular crossbow or a heavy crossbow?
It's a regular crossbow.
Okay, so you would be able to, load it, pick up your shield, and fire.
Oh, good. Then that's what I'll do. While moving back 30 feet.
Okay.
So fire is going to be a 14.
14 hits.
And damage, when I can find a D8, is 6. Same guy that I hit with my dagger.
Okay. All right. He is still standing.
And then I'll call, hey, flame bait. I think that some of your friends are down here.
He's there, and he's kind of like standing back, and he's got this like shocked look on his face as you say that. I mean, they're not certainly he saw the flame, but he is more of a academ when it comes to this stuff. He's not really a combatant. He is
I'll do a quick glance over my shoulder and say that wasn't a racial thing. I think they actually are members of your order.
Is that what you got, Alvarez?
That's all I got.
All right, Bramble.
No one's around them, correct?
None that you see.
Okay, then oh shoot, that's gonna be out of my range. So then I'm going to I guess attack with my sling. I haven't done
Okay.
that one yet. So I will move up a little bit further so I can attack with the sling.
All right. Are you going through the archway?
Is the archway like halfway cut between where
Yeah.
we are and where they are? Yeah, so then I'd
Yes.
be like, probably right within the archway then.
Okay. So you're just going up to the edge of it. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and then does a 13 hit?
13 does.
And that's going to be 4 points.
Oh, you going to the one that Alvarez has been shooting at, or the other one?
The other one. So 4 points bludgeoning.
All right.
And I think that's all I've got.
All right, Rarick.
These guys, they're still 55 feet away.
Indeed.
All right. I'm going to keep moving up, keep closing in on them. And I'm going to, so that's going to get me within 15 feet of them.
So
And
so you're going to move through the archway and get into the open room, correct?
correct.
All right.
Oh yeah, I'm pushing past everybody. I want at these guys.
So as you step through the hallway, this 15-foot archway, what you did not notice is inset within the wall are these massive spinning blades.
Oh,
I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
so I didn't
Not
notice
have
them.
advantage because you did
Right.
not see it coming.
Understood. That is going to be a 12.
That is going to be a 12. So thankfully you're raging.
I am raging. I am raging.
So you will get half damage.
Wait, that sounds like a lot of dice you're rolling.
That was a lot of dice. Yep.
That sounds like a literal fistful of dice.
Oh no!
It's at
I'm here
least
for
6.
it. I'm here for it.
So that is 35 slashing damage, reduced down to 17.
Holy cow.
I imagine it's almost like sparks as some of these spinning blades hit the some of that molten rock that was encrusted on my shell, and I sort of get battered around and cut a bit and just
And I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna say it's gonna sever several of your magically grown spikes. You hear them tinkle tinkle to the ground on the stone.
that just makes
Oh,
me
you've done it now.
that just makes me more angry. And I'm just pushing through this, getting as close to them as I can. And I reach down, sort of low on my shell, reach back and grab 2 hand axes and ow, hit my mic. Ouch. Getting a little into it. I'm going to throw a hand axe at each of them.
All right.
Let's see. So that's going to be. I'm going to use inspiration on that.
Sure.
I'm not going out like that. All right, let's try this again. Oh, so it went from a 2 to a 4. So that's a 10 to hit.
10 hits.
And a 18.
They both hit.
All right, so the first one is going to do for 7 points of slashing damage. The second one's going to do 6 points of slashing damage to the other guy. And I want those back.
So the first hand axe goes flying, and it buries itself, perfectly right in the dude's sternum. And if he weren't being held up by plants, he would have certainly fallen to the ground after that. But he falls limp in the vines. He's just kind of dangling there, bleeding. The fire that's licking him, shoulders to head, slowly begins to go out. But as you've run through, you do notice that there are two more to the side.
Oh, good.
But you've got more playthings. Omen, you're up.
Fortunately, okay. So are those two new guys close enough for me to charge and smite them?
You do not see them.
Oh, I don't see them.
No,
Oh, so do I think the fight is over?
Well, you still see the one dude in the.
Oh, okay. No, I'm gonna hit that guy.
Okay. What are you gonna hit him with?
I have a whip.
Okay, so you would have to go through the archway to get your whip. All right.
Yep.
Don't you have a whip sword?
Oh yeah, I do. I have a dagger tail. That. Oh no. I nat one. I'm gonna use my inspiration that we started our session with.
But in order to get there, you go through the archway, and unfortunately, those blades come right back. I'm gonna need to ask you to make a dexterity saving throw as well.
Oh snap!
I probably should have said something about the blades. I mean,
oh no, I probably should have realized that was a thing that was going to happen. I wasn't paying enough attention, and that was entirely my own fault. 16.
16. All right, so you will take half.
Okay.
I'm just picturing Omen in there going, "This is my fault. This is my fault."
I'm sorry. I don't pay as much attention as I should in combat. I'm terrible.
So that is 19 slashing damage.
Oh, that's half?
That's half.
Oh, damn. All right. Yeah, I'm fine, but damn. All right, I'm backing up because my daddy taught me good.
Well, I mean, you take it as you run through. The blades come out.
Oh. So if I still get on the other side, then I'm still going to hit this guy. Let's go.
Absolutely.
It's like the worst turnstile ever.
Let's see. 21 to hit.
Yeah, they have not seemed difficult to hit.
Cool. In that case, I'm going to branding smite this fellow.
Okay.
Which apparently doesn't really do anything except for make something glow and become not invisible if it's invisible. I don't know why I took this spell. But I already said I was doing it, so I'll go ahead and do it.
So what's your damage?
15.
Yeah. So.
Oh wait, I also get my strength modifier. Hold on, I lied.
Well, he had 9 hit points left.
Oh, good.
So you whip out with this sword, and it snakes out, and just the tip of it just comes right across his jugular, and his blood just kind of boils out of him. And like his companion, the vines still hold him up as he falls limp, and you see the halo of fire begin to slowly, wither and go out.
I approve.
But as you too have come up through into the room, you see the flowing lava off to the side. You do see, although it's mostly covered by vines, there is a immaculately carved throne of black glass. But to your sides, you see 2 more of these robed individuals.
I will call out to the others in this room and let them know that this is the case.
So they are each going to launch an attack at one at you, Omen, and one at Rarick. Let's see here.
Bring it on.
All right. So the flames that are around their head, they take out. And last time, they had released these gouts of flame. This time they kind of focus it, and it comes at you, at each of you, in a large beam. So Rarick, you take 11 points of fire, and Omen, you take 13.
Gotcha.
And then we are at the top of the order. Alvarez.
And I no longer see any more
Cor-
hobgoblins.
Correct.
But I've watched both of them walk through this archway and the blades swing out.
Yeah, so when the blades come out and they spin, like saw blades, and as they, finish going through, it appears that there's like two blades on either side. And then once someone is through, the blades kind of blend back into the wall, and neither of you can kind of see exactly, any marring of the wall in any way, shape,
And it looks like it's coming. The archway is like set into the wall and it's coming through this thing. There's no obvious way to avoid it.
that you can see. Correct.
I'm gonna walk up to the archway and just.
What do you-
Shit.
Can like Brambles respond to his doing that? Like speak to him?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go through it, but yeah, go for it.
Okay. What are you doing?
I gotta figure out how to get past this thing without getting chopped to bits.
I got you covered. Just don't go through it. Don't be
Fine.
stupid.
I wasn't going to. That's. Look at me. Do I look like someone who likes to get chopped up by blades?
No, but
Wait.
you're also the one who likes to wander.
I love the
Remember,
both of them, but they're idiots. And I'm going to. I mean it in the nicest way. I'm gonna do me an investigation check of 2.
All right. So you take some time, and you really aren't able to piece together any kind of clues in 6 seconds. So, Bramble, what are you doing?
here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Snap, time to come out and play.
Bonus action calling out my wildfire spirit.
Snarf.
Okay.
I'm going to hold my actual action,
Okay.
and I'm going to quip out to both because Arkham's still there, right?
Akram, yeah.
Akram.
He's- He's back at the columns that had the artwork.
So he's nowhere near us at this point?
I mean, he's
Or
50 feet away from Alvarez.
oh, then he can do his own thing.
He's not a combat guy. He's not.
Okay. Okay, so then looking to Alvarez,
Grab a hold of Snuff and get ready for a ride.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Awesome.
so actually Snarf is going to teleport us through because
Okay.
he's got this lovely little teleportation thing happening. Let me
And
just
he
look
can
it up
carry
again.
people with him.
Yep, willing creatures of my choice. Within 5 feet of it. So I was standing by the arch, so was Alvarez. So we can
Mhm.
both grab onto him, and he'll take us into 30 feet of unoccupied space we can see.
Awesome. So you teleport into the room. It's 15 foot of the archway is. So you've got anywhere between 15 to 30 feet away you could be, and they'll be in the middle of this room or just past the archway. However,
Probably just past the archway is how she
Okay.
would spin it. And let's see if there is each creature within 5 feet of this space, like once the teleportation is finished, must succeed a dexterity saving throw or take 1d6 plus 3 of fire damage. So like any like non
they're not close enough to the arch.
okay.
They're, they're a little ways back.
Okay, so then that would be Snarf taking his action because it's separate from mine, and then
Okay.
can I take my action and like slingshot one of the other guys?
Absolutely.
All right, then that's what I'm going to do.
Number 3 is to the left. Number 4 is to your right.
Number 4,
All right.
15 hits.
It does.
That's going to be 5 points bludgeoning.
All right.
And that's everything.
Okay. Well, kudos for getting through. Rarick, you are up.
All right. How far are these new threats from me?
So basically, you're now like in the middle of this room. Having rushed up towards the two hobgoblins that were entangled. So if you go 20 feet to the left or 20 feet to the right, we'll put you into melee with either of these guys.
Always go left
Always go left.
as I'm pulling the giggle axe off of my back. And I'm going to just with that sort of giggle along with the axe, just walk purposefully up to him, take 2 broad swings with this thing.
Okay.
Now I gotta check something. Is advantage on? Yeah, that's what.
Correct.
Okay, so not a damn. Wait. Sorry, I was starting to roll with advantage, and I don't have advantage. You know what? Yeah, I do.
You gonna reckless?
Because I'm gonna reckless, and I'm gonna great weapon master.
Okay. I don't know why you're going reckless. These things have been pretty easy to hit, but go for it.
Because it's me.
Sure.
Because one of these dice was a 4, that's why. So that with a it's a -5, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it still makes it a 15 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
So this first hit is gonna take 16 26 points of slashing damage.
All right. So as you lay into this guy, he lets out a scream. You've buried that axe, into his rib cage. His hands were up to kind of be pulling more fire off of his halo. And as he screams, you see this fire kind of come down. And at first, you think he just caught on fire, but the flames actually riot his entire body, and like they almost move like a living creature as it climbs across the axe and then down onto your arms.
This is
You-
fine.
8 points of fire damage.
All right.
Make a second swing,
Say again?
and you're gonna make a second swing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna
Go for it.
rip the axe out of his rib cage and raise it up for a second attack. Why that was just singing a Christmas song. That is right. Just gonna do great weapon master on this one.
Okay.
Different die. That makes that a. All right, so that's a 6 -5 is 1 + 6. That's only a 7 to hit. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's an 8 to hit.
8 is going to miss.
It could have something to do with the fact that I'm on fire or got burned.
Maybe you should have attacked with advantage.
Maybe. Last time you're like, I don't know why you're doing it. They're easy to hit.
Well, I gotta question everything, right? Isn't that my job?
This time I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, maybe you should have.
All right, is that all you got, Rarick?
Yeah.
All right, Omen, what's up?
Hey, what's alive?
So there is if you're standing in the room looking at the entangled corpses, there is the one that Rarick is fighting, who looks very much close to death's door, and then there's the one that Bramble got a sling at to your right.
I'm going for the one to my right because I just nat 20'd.
Okay.
And I'm about to smite. Because why would I not smite when I nat 20? Like, where is my character sheet? Here we go. Okay, that's going to be 22 damage.
All right.
14 of which is radiant.
Yeah, that part. So very similar to what happened with Rarick when he attacked with the axe. The flames kind of like crawl on his body. And despite the fact that you have reach with this weapon, the flames kind of crawl up, across the distance of your whip, and you take 7 points of fire damage as it climbs up the whip and onto your arms, and it just bites into you. All right, so after Omen, oh, that's actually me. Let's see here. So he is going to launch his blast of fire back at you, Omen. He is actually going to hit. So that fire that was that he was collecting, he shoots it out. And it's 15 points of fire.
Was that too?
Me again?
So Omen, yes. And then the one fighting.
Oh, I'm down.
Oh no.
And then the one fighting Rarick, his blood you can see boiling, and literally boiling. It's popping and bubbling out this massive wound. And for those of you who might have seen the fire in the bear's eyes, see the same thing in the eyes of this hobgoblin as he just reaches out towards you, Rarick. And I'm going to need a dexterity saving throw for you.
Advantage because I can see what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that'll make that a 15.
That's a 15. All right. So you will take half as his body explodes.
As it does.
So he falls limp at your feet in an explosion of fire for 23 points of damage. So therefore you take 11.
Everything is on fire. I don't like it.
The flames, on these goblins or hobgoblins begin to, fade as well.
Is that the last one that went down?
Yes.
Okay. Alvarez will charge charge forward as Rarick is performing his killing blow, and he'll just be like giving this blood curdling scream as he charges towards Omen's body, really, but just and then drop down and cast healing word on her
Okay.
for 22, or not healing word, cure wounds for 22.
Okay.
As Rarick brings his axe down and puts
Are you healing her for 22 hit points, or are you causing 22 points of damage?
That one, the first one, the healing 22. I'm healing 22 points of damage, and then as the body drops, Alvarez will say, "That's right. You should have been afraid."
So you come to consciousness with, should have been afraid.
I charged in here to tell you to be more careful.
And how did that work for you?
Shut up.
I'll help her stand up.
And she will accept that.
With the big grin that I have when I think that I'm right.
I mean, this time you are, and I'll let you have that.
I told him not to go through the arch.
Thank you for that, by the way. That arch was
You're welcome.
Oh yeah, you need to watch out for the arch. There is spinning blades that come out of that. It hurts a lot.
It does. I'm honestly not sure how I saw that the first time, or didn't see that the first time. I died. It does things to the memory. I'm okay.
Sometimes it takes longer to reset.
I'm gonna go over and pick up my hand axes and my javelins.
I'll take.
I told you I would take these back.
Is the fight over?
I think so.
Do we talk about the arch?
Yeah, be careful about the arch.
So he comes up to the other side of the archway from you guys. What was that about? My brethren, my cousins, something?
I think
Um,
now that I'm closer, do the robes and the symbols on the robes actually look identical to?
Yeah.
Yeah. These goblins over here, these hobgoblins, they're wearing robes much like yours, and they have the necklaces too, the amulets.
Yes. So he, like, you haven't seen a whole lot of emotion, come out of this guy. He is older, but like definitely without rolls, without insight checks, you can see the anger, come over his face. He is definitely bothered by this, and he gets contemplative as this is like, why on earth would my kin be doing something here? So you see,
Maybe
there's a trap in this hallway.
there
in
is.
the arch.
You asked
Um,
the right question. That's a question I have for you too. Why would your kin be down here?
Whatever
I
they're
don't know.
doing, we'll find out. We'll put a stop to it. We'll set this right.
All right. Well, that the last time that I put the rune on you guys, it was about 15 minutes ago. Highly recommend that you get back to me within 45 minutes. But there's a deadly trap through here. I'm not gonna cross.
That's absolutely reasonable.
So I will wait here. If you're not back within a couple hours, I'm going to assume you're dead.
How about while you wait, you figure out how to stop the trap? Deactivate it, maybe.
I can certainly take a look, but it's not my forte.
During this interaction, I would like to roll an investigation, an insight check.
I was gonna say I want to do a total like perception check on this dude.
Okay, it would be insight.
Insight.
I rolled
Yes,
it.
I still want to do insight. Yeah, I want to do
Sure.
it too because like this is like fishy. 16.
18.
He seems legit. The genuine anger. More so just like looking at the now. You're looking at all of the different interactions that you've had with him, and from the moment that you met him, last session into here, all of the pieces are adding up. Um, you know, this if you had to put all the pieces together, perhaps there's a rival part of his organization. Perhaps there's something going on within it that needs to be uncovered. But everything makes sense. He is genuinely surprised, seeing the scarf in the tent or the sash. There being these agents here, genuine confusion. Um, and when he said, "Oh, if there are, I would absolutely see justice. Go ahead and do what you need to do." Makes sense. It does not appear that he's lying.
All right. I'm sorry, I'm eating, so I'm gonna not say a lot.
I was there a couple minutes ago. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
ready to move forward whenever you guys are.
Same.
All right. So as you explore the room, there does appear to be a small door um, that is off towards where Ririk was, fighting the one guy, and then there is definitely a tunnel that continues out of the room. But you do see, I mean, you're in a room where there is distinct lava flow, eating away at this cavern wall. So beyond the warning of Akram, you know that eventually this place is not going to be here
When it fails to be here any longer, is this talking about the specific area we're in, or like the mountain itself is risking?
You would gather that the lava that is now like bubbling and moving is going to eat this, the contents of this cave.
Oh, okay. Is it likely to be from what we gather here, spreading down and putting the village in danger?
You don't think so? I mean, you're currently internal, but I mean, if it erupts again, it is highly possible that it might decide to go in that direction. Um,
Okay.
you know, you haven't studied volcanic explosions much to know exactly why it might go in one direction this time and in another direction in another.
All right.
So do you wish to look in the door or go down the hallway?
Which one is to the left?
The doorway.
Doorway it is.
The doorway it is. Wait.
Wait.
Why did you say wait? I was going to check it.
That's good, because last time you didn't, and you're a little bit worse for the wear.
Well, if anybody can take it, it's me.
Did you want to
To
go
an
back in the
extent.
hallway and pick up the pieces that fell off, Eric?
No.
Sorry, every once in a while I gotta be a jerk.
That's hilarious.
While you're at it, why don't you just give me a nice paper cut and pour lemon juice in it?
I do have the mending spell. Perhaps I can get him to stay back on.
No, that's an idea.
Well, let's wait and see if I'm going to lose any more.
All right, so you're going to check the door, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
When you
How
don't
are you-
when you don't have a rogue, let your barbarian check for traps.
So go ahead and make an investigation check.
That is 11.
All right. You are confident that you find nothing wrong with this door.
I have checked this door thoroughly, and I am confident there is nothing wrong with it. See? And I step through.
So you open the door, and it appears that there is two things to consider. One, that there is a small pile of what looks to be salvage goods, some very, very worn and used tools and weaponry. But then up against the wall, kind of raised up about 3 foot, there appears to be small statuettes that are carved of the same black glass as the throne that was in the antechamber, but they all appear um, to be like a woman in robes with their hands held high. Um, and that's what you see. You see, there's a handful of them set into the wall.
I would like to study the stone to see what kind of stone it is.
Okay,
What do
go ahead and make a nature check.
Okay, I got a 13. I don't know what my nature bonus is. 14.
Okay, so it's obsidian. It's what do you call it, black glass or stone glass or obsidian. They're all tend to be the similar terminologies.
Pulling out my dagger, I'll reach up towards the statue, saying, "I think I can make something nice out of this."
Make something nice out of the already carved statue.
Yeah.
So the statuette is heavier than you would expect, given its size. Um, all in all, there are 4 in the room. So if each of you wanted one, you could take it. But they are pretty hefty, and surprisingly cool to the touch.
How hefty? How heavy is it?
I mean, it's not like you got to drag it heavy, but it's probably a good solid 5-6 pounds for a statue being this big.
I'm gonna look at Omen and say, "Is it gonna fit into your bag of swallow all the things?"
Oh, you bet it is.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, God.
I'm swiping every one of the statues. I'm sorry.
So has speaking of the bag, your bag, have you collected anything recent
Oh, I have grabbed so many chunks of obsidian as we've been walking up this mountain. Like, there were a couple of things at the campsite that I was just like, this is mine now. Like, yeah, it's absolutely happening 100% of the time.
The little tiles that Bramble scratched off the wall.
Raric, but yes.
Well, no, Bramble had gone crazy on it.
Okay, yeah, well, both
All
is
right.
good. They're pretty. I might be able to use this for a mosaic later. You don't know.
This is what happens when you give someone a cursed bag of holding.
It's true.
Hoarding,
It's the
right?
bag of hoarding.
That's the curse. The bag of hoarding.
Yes, I love it.
All right, but that is all you find in the in this room.
Well, that was worth our while.
You
Onward.
were confident that there were no traps, Raric.
Don't like that. I don't take it back, but I don't like that. Let's go.
Mhm.
Is that the only door? This
Yes,
was a dead end room.
Yes,
Yeah.
there was the hallway, and then there was the door. So
All right. Well, eventually, as we turn around in the room, that other passageway will be on our left.
With some time to investigate at an 18, is there anything else in the room that we failed to notice?
in that the little room,
Yeah.
no, that was it.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure. And
Yeah,
then
I
I'm
was
gonna
just
be right back.
busting Jake Stones about the traps.
Oh, I know. I was mostly thinking like, oh, is there a secret chamber or something like that that we just are completely overlooking?
Sometimes those kind of things happen.
That's
In
true.
this case, no.
All right. I will be right back. But
Sure.
Alvarez is, absentmindedly following everyone, looking at beautiful rocks.
Sure,
And
sure.
I'm keeping an eye on him to make sure he doesn't wander off again.
The general
I
rule
feel like
of,
at this, yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, the general rule of thumb is if you don't find it, it's not important anymore.
I think at this point it's Bramble or Omen or keeping an eye on Alvarez. We're just like, you got him this time, I'll get him next time.
Which means apparently
so-
Raric's leading the way.
Well,
Check-
I mean that is
mean-
Checking
typically
for traps. Don't worry, I'm getting pretty good at this.
How are you feeling?
I should probably heal myself while we're out of combat, by the way. Just
I
gonna
was
burn a
gonna
second
say.
level spell slot for that.
Oh, I'm singed quite a bit. I've got parts of my skin and shell are burned.
Then
I'm bleeding from a couple places.
then Bramble's is
I'll heal you
totally
too.
doing
Oh.
cure. I'll do cure
Yeah,
wounds
okay,
on.
good.
Yeah, I mean, Raric wasn't going to say anything, but I'm at 13 hit points.
Okay, so then Bramble would totally be like,
You look a little worse for wear there, honey. Let's fix you up a little bit.
and hang on a second. I swear to God, the real life Bramble keeps stealing my D8s. I'm not even kidding. Okay, with what D8s I have, I have to reroll. Okay, so then that is 20 points of healing.
I feel much better. Oh, not damage. Heal. Hit the wrong button. Okay, now I feel much better. It probably
Good.
means I'll be even better at checking for these traps.
I mean, I have a few more of those up my sleeve, but let's not tempt fate.
I guess we're going the other way, which was a hallway, I believe.
Mhm. All right, so you guys ready to press on? Done all the things that you're going to do?
Yep.
All right.
Let's do this.
So you go down a hallway, and you find yourself in a room, green colored. Once lush furnishings indicate that this was perhaps once the antechamber or a waiting room. The lava flow intruding into the space now has set everything ablaze. The heat is unbearable, and the smoke in the area is difficult to breathe.
Is there any other passageways?
Sorry, I apologize. It was lost in thought for a second. So the room does continue on past, um, and it leads into a room. In the center of this room is a large pile of dirt and rock with a 2-foot statue of a female figure, arms stretched, standing sturdy in the center. Very similar to the smaller statues that you guys have. A flame burns in one of her hands, and water drips from the other. The only water you have seen in this dry, baleful, hot place. Behind the statue, the lava flow surges, and a female form slowly rises from its depths, st- streaming orange and red molten rock from her body. Wings of flame extend from her with angelic reach as she extends her burning arms in mimicry of the small statue. And just so you can have a little bit of imagery, I don't know how well you can see that.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
To be on this month's T-shirt.
I like how
So-
the flames on the t-shirt weren't enough to convey how much trouble we're in. You had to go for the full fire sweatshirt.
Yeah. You finally notice the pattern there.
Alvarez, seeing her rising out of the lava, says, "Hey, I've seen statues of you."
Are we going to talk to her or are we going to kill her?
I mean,
But
Do we
she's a
need
fire
to?
lady.
we talk first and we kill second, right?
Please.
That's right. Do we need to?
Talk or
And
kill?
I'm asking her.
Let's actually see here. So the crackly voice, it's got pops in it as you are at a campfire, as the voice carries across the distance. Please go ahead and talk. And as she does so, the flames kind of lick up and form into blades into her hands.
Oh God, Bramble's gonna want to do it too. She has that. Oh, it's
Do
tempting.
it. Do it.
So, why are you here? And what's with the whole threatening flamey hands thing? Why can't you talk too? We can all be friends, can't we? Just for a minute.
You wish to be friends for a minute. Very well. Your time is ticking.
Mhm.
You've been called to this place to set it ablaze.
Who called you?
Inconsequential.
Oh,
Do you need
I've got
help?
a friend who believes that's very consequential. If they're his buddies, well, that speaks a whole lot of trouble for him. But more importantly, why'd you answer?
Because I like to set things on fire.
So do I.
And like flame hands, like
You and the cat have a lot
you
in
can't
common.
help it.
Where do you come
Perhaps join me.
from? Where do you come from that makes this more enjoyable to burn than where you were at originally?
Well, when everything is fire where you're from, it gets dull after a while. It's fun to
Why?
set new things on fire.
Oh, I see. I see.
I've never set one of you on fire.
Hmm. That's true.
Rambo.
Have you ever been set on fire yourself?
Are you talking to Bramble or her?
I was just trying to figure out.
Now, there's a big difference between being set on fire and already being on fire. Those are different things.
He's not wrong.
Well, I don't burn. I burn other things.
What things do you have to burn?
Whatever I please.
So, when will you leave?
When I've been sated.
So you could be sated somewhere else.
No, I need to start here.
Wait, so you're basically just looking for a lot of fire?
To some extent, you are running short on time. The sands of your glass are nearly empty.
Do we have any way of teleporting her somewhere else so she can burn other things?
Kind of need to rest a little bit before Snarf can do that again.
Oh, right, okay.
And can only take us so far. Wouldn't get us too far out of here is the problem. Um,
It looks like the only option is to put her out. Fine then.
all right. This could be fun.
Come on, roll really well for initiative.
All right, you guys
Fuck yeah!
want to do this
I rolled a 20 on my initiative again.
again? Wow, nice.
Look at you, dude. Oh, I just rolled a 20.
Oh, damn!
Except this gives me 27.
Which puts you above. You're just super. You're like flame on for this right here. You're like, oh, flamey lady with fire hands. I want to do that.
Being rated.
Hi!
I was gonna say, what just happened?
Handler.
What just happened? The viewer count just like almost tripled.
I'm kind of pissed. Well, I'm not pissed. I'm glad I did it. I used my 4th level spell slot to bring Omen back to life, but both Control Water and Ice Storm are 4th level spells. So I don't.
I appreciate it if that makes it any better.
All right, so Bramble, you have a 27?
I do. That I do. Does that mean I'm going first, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so God, I can't believe I'm actually going to try this. She is going to
Attack the party. Join the fire elemental.
you know. No, I'm kidding.
She's gonna consider it.
Bramble, please. Bramble, no.
No, trust me, I like you guys a lot better. There's fire, but then there's fire. Fire can be sometimes overwhelming and sometimes bad.
So she said she needed to be sated, like with fire.
That is the words that kind of left her.
Then I'm throwing a flaming. I'm
She's
gonna
casting fireball.
I'm doing fireball at her. Like right
Okay,
at her.
go for it.
Okay. God, this is gonna be too funny. Hold on. I'm looking at the different levels. Which level do I want to do now? Yeah. So okay. So gonna do fireball, and that is. I've actually never cast one of these before. Believe it or not, this is my first PC to have it.
As a dex
What?
86.
Okay, so 8d6. If she fails a dex save.
Sure.
Okay. Did she fail it or?
Go ahead and roll your damage.
What was that? Oh, it's an attack. It's not a.
No, roll your damage.
Oh, roll my damage. Okay, hold on. I gotta get this. This sucks.
I was gonna say, what do you mean you've never rolled fireball before? But that was not you that cast fireball last night.
It's always big. It's never. This is the first time I've ever rolled for a fireball. Oh, this is nice. Okay, so that is 23. Oh wait, 8d6. So that's 23. I need to roll 2 more.
Okay.
That's 66. Oh, I see a Dawnbringer's. Neat. And so that's going to be a 33 total.
33. So you cast the fireball, and as the fireball, Bramble, this might be the first time that she's casting it, but you've seen it, the effect before. Normally, it's supposed to explode and cover a large area, and as you center it right on this creature, the explosion begins, and she just reaches out her hands and holds it in and absorbs all of the flame, and you see her just grow a little bit bigger.
It's a good thing that happened before we did damage.
Well, she said she wanted fire. I thought maybe give her some fire, she'd go away.
There was some logic to it.
Thank you. Does that mean you've decided to work with me?
Can we make a deal?
Albert.
No, she's our flame kitty. And with that, I'm going to sleet. And as I sleet storm, I'll actually read what the spell does since I'm using it on a creature. So it is, a 20-foot tall cylinder with a 40-foot radius centered at a point within range. So I'm gonna center it so it's. I don't know if I should totally like center her in the middle of it, since then everyone else wouldn't be able to see her. But she's definitely gonna be caught in like the edge of it, so that she's just inside.
Okay.
The area is heavily obscured, so I
Okay.
think I do want her at least 5 feet in it, so that she can't immediately see us.
Okay.
Here's the part that I really am excited about. Any exposed flames in the area are doused.
Okay.
And then the ground in the area is covered with a slick ice, making it difficult terrain. Any creature that enters the spell area for the first time or on its starts its turn there makes a DC saving throw or is knocked prone. I believe I'm casting this over top of lava, so I'm not sure if that's going to change anything. And
Okay.
then
So it's going to kind of war a little bit. But what level spell is that?
third.
Third. So it's not going to last long, like maybe a round or two.
Okay, so not the minute concentration.
Correct. I mean, the magic of the sleet storm coming down is going to stay, but it's not going to be able to maintain any ice on the ground because it is just too high.
Okay.
That makes
Hopefully, I
sense.
can do some for dousing the flames that she's producing. That's the real hope I
Okay.
have. And
There
then
is an effect, and I've got rules here for what you're doing.
okay, cool. And then the concentration spell is the big one. If she starts her turn concentrating on a spell, it's got to make a
Okay.
concentration save.
She is not, but it's cool.
All right, that's the most of it. And then I think I'm gonna step back so that I'm, if not parallel with, a little bit behind Omen and Rarick.
Okay. Rarick, you're up.
All right. I'm going to bonus action rage while raising the giggle axe.
Sure.
And I'm going to reckless great weapon master. On this first attack.
You're gonna charge into the sleet storm.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
So, did the ground turn to ice?
Yes.
It was a DC 13
An
Constitution.
18. Sorry, con?
Yeah.
Con saving throw. 22.
Okay. You are not knocked prone.
So the first attack, with advantage, I rolled a natural 1 and a 3. With my bonus, that is a total of 5 to hit on the first attack. As
that misses.
I slip a bit on the slippery terrain, and I will get my footing and Great Weapon Master attack, not reckless, making that a total of 6. This is very much a slip and slide show. As I go running up, intending to do lots of damage and getting madder and madder.
So your first attack, you did reckless, so therefore she's going to get advantage on her.
That is correct.
All right. We are up to Omen.
I was muted. All right. So I crack my dagger tail, and magic infuses my voice, echoing over the chamber, and I say, "Crawl." That will be a DC 15 Wisdom save.
Crawl?
I have the command spell.
Okay. Okay. 15 wisdom. There's a 19 on the die.
Damn. That does nothing.
All right. Which is ironic because I don't know. All right. Is that all you have?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, she is going to come into Rarick, since that is the only one that's decided to come play.
Bring it on!
That is a 24 and a 20 to hit you.
Ah, those will both hit.
All right, so you take 7 slashing damage, reduced down to 3, and 9 fire. And the second strike is 7 slashing damage and 2 fire.
Is my sleet storm doing
7
anything to the
slashing
fire?
is the 7 slashing. Is that half or half to 3?
The slashing damage is half to 3. Is your rating? The sleet storm does appear like it's sizzling flame, but it does not appear to be doing a ton of damage.
Okay.
For
It
reminder,
doesn't damage anyway. I was just
well,
curious.
it is not the cold is not affecting her. She's kind of more floating than standing, and
Yeah.
it is not putting her out because she is not just an unattended flame. She is
Okay.
flame. And if you had to attribute a level, your 3rd level spell does not counteract hers.
That's fair.
But we are at the top of the order. So Bramble, what are you doing?
Well, she's gonna see what's going on around her and then look to the fire lady. And you almost see like a touch of disappointment in her eyes because she's about to do this. And she'll look to this fire woman and she'll go, "All right, little fish, looks like you won't get your wish." And she's gonna cast polymorph on her and try turning her into a fish.
Ah, okay. Well, unfortunately, that has no effect either.
Beautiful
Ah!
form.
Crud.
Cannot alter her form.
Well, at least we know that now.
I'm sad that I didn't keep my banishment spell. I prepared spells for things that I thought we would have to deal with in this place, and banishment wasn't one of them.
All right. Well,
Which would have been perfect because it's just back to the flame plane, and you're happy. Well, not happy, but not there, not here.
all right. Is that all you have, Bramble?
Yeah, because she already knows if Snarp tries anything, it's just gonna feed the flame, literally.
Okay.
It's almost as
Helper.
if this monster was created with you specifically
You
in mind,
know?
Bramble.
You know.
The great thing that I have here is I can't say that because this is prepared by the lovely people over at RPG
Who
Crate.
watched this game is all I'm saying.
That's true. And I honestly feel that the magic item that Bramble has was totally put in for her.
That is just the coolest thing ever.
Are we at the center of the volcano? Can we look up and see open the
No.
open top of the mountain? Okay.
No. Because I think if you were
Alright.
there, you'd be, in
Yeah.
danger of heat issues.
Yeah. I just was wondering. Well, it just if it was an open ceiling, I could do call lightning, but it's not.
Well, no, you are clearly underground.
Okay. And you said my spell has a reduced time that it'll
So
be.
you can keep concentrating, but the ice is not, staying there. You can see that it's definitely melting from the heat of the elemental and the heat of the volcano. Your magic is not as strong as the magic that is keeping this place doing what it's doing.
Okay, and it doesn't seem to be doing anything to her. So really, at the end of the day,
It's done a little bit. You've done more damage than anybody else.
No. All right. Well, I guess I'll keep it going. If it seems like it's having some minor effect on her, and then I'll step up behind Rerick, so I'm at the edge of my own storm, 5 feet
Okay.
away from her, where I can
Sure.
cast my word of radiance. And then I will
Sure.
call upon the dark gods of thunder and lightning, and she can make a Constitution saving throw, DC 13. Probably gonna pass, but that's okay.
No, that's a 10.
Oh, okay, cool. That is 8 radiant damage,
Okay.
and that's all I've got.
Okay. After Alvareth is Rarick.
Let's try this again. This time, Reckless, Great Weapon Master. And roll double digits, you know. That's going to make that a 11 on the first attack.
She nimbly dodges your axe.
There we go. That is a 19 on the die. So that's going to make that a 26 to hit.
That will do it.
So this time... This time it's going to be... Okay, so that's going to be... I rolled with advantage on damage and rolled 2 12s. So that is going to be the 12 plus the 4 is 16 plus the 2 for raging is 18 points of slashing damage.
18.
And then...
Some serious numbers.
I'm going to bonus action shoulder check her.
Before you do that, because this might make the determination as to whether you want to do that. For making contact with the weapon, you take 9 points of fire damage.
I think that Rarick's in his rage, he's already going in for the shoulder check as the flames are licking up the axe. And that is going to be the armor spike attack.
Sure.
So it's a melee attack, which is a... Good lord, that's not going to hit.
Okay.
2 on the die.
Okay.
Probably for the best.
All right. So is that all you got, Rarick?
Yeah, Rarick is standing there, flames licking up the axe and up his arm. The skin on his arms and hands is cracking and blistering from the flames, and he is looking pretty bad.
Okay. Omen, you're up.
Yes, good. So I'm going to attack with my dagger tail. Does a 16 hit?
16 does not.
Okay, I miss.
All right. You're a 7th level paladin, right?
Yes.
You should have extra attack, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll try it again. Where is my dice window? No, that's lower.
Okay. So she looks around at all of you and it's like, you're fools. And she steps into Rarick and goes to swing at the half elf standing behind him.
Define steps into Rarick.
You are now surrounded in flames as she is in your square.
You are on fire.
I'll get to that in a minute. Oh, that's a natural 20 on you, Alvarez.
I will take it.
Of course you will.
I will also, in turn, Wrath of Storms her.
Okay, and her second attack is a 21.
Those will both
hit. So her being in your square, Rarick, you are going to take 4 points of fire damage.
Still standing.
And Alvarez, you will take. You don't reduce damage in any way, right?
I still have, unless it's been over an hour, I still have my protection from
It
elements.
is not. But all right, so you've got 18 slashing.
Okay.
And then 13 fire,
Which I have.
which you have. So which you have. So 13 will go to 6. So
Okay. I am pretty low on health. I'm looking pretty beat up with that hit. And then I'm going to respond with lightning bolting from me
okay,
at her.
sure.
She has to make a DC 13 dexterity save or take damage in response.
That is going to be a 7.
Okay. I just had the damage up a second ago, and now I don't know. Oh, there it is, 2d8. Okay. She takes 8 lightning damage, and then when I deal lightning damage to a target of large or small creature, is she either large
She is medium.
or small? Okay, she is pushed 10 feet away from me.
Okay.
Deeper into the sleet storm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and roll that.
And then I'll say in a voice racked with pain, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
All right. That ends her turn. Back to Bramble.
Okay, bonus action. I'm going to cast Healing Word 3rd level on Alvareth.
Okay.
Because Bramble is realizing that stormy thingy is helping. That's a good thing to have. She knows that ice and fire don't mix. So that means for Alvareth, you will be getting 34. Oh, that's not too shabby. Okay, so then that is 13 HP from Healing
Thank you.
Word. And then I'm going to look at Fire Lady and move. I'm gonna have to move forward, I think, because of the distance on this. Yeah, I'm gonna move closer to her, so I'm within range, and cast my poison spray at her.
Okay.
And
You
she's still
still
con save.
occupying my space?
No,
No, she got pushed back.
Alvarez pushed her back.
Yeah.
But you are on fire.
Sure.
Yes, you are.
Of course.
Well, actually, you're on fire, but you're at the edge of the sleet storm, so that would actually put it out. So you will not actually take more damage next round.
That's probably for the best.
So
Bramble?
she has to do a con save. It's
All right.
14.
I'm really sorry, but she doesn't take poison damage either. Not being alive.
I don't like this fire.
Oh my god. You were
I'm
completely useless to this thing. I'm sorry, but like everything you've done, I'm so sorry.
Well, the one thing I want to use, I can't because you're all there.
and I can show you the card. It says it right there.
I know, I believe it. I feel bad. It's like I personally did this, but it wasn't me.
All right, Alvarez, you're up.
When does Omen go?
Ted, did you forget me again?
She goes after Rarick. You went last turn and missed twice.
I thought so.
Oh, right. Okay, I must have just missed it.
Yeah, she attacked twice and missed.
Okay. Feeling my own injuries beginning to hurt me and having this creature heavily obscured and ways away from me, I'm going to just go ahead and heal myself. That doing that. I heal for 5.
Okay. Is that all you got?
Yep.
All right. So after Alvarez is Rarick.
Oh, are you tracking hit points? Because I lied. I heal for 4.
I'm not tracking hit points.
Okay.
All right.
I ask you guys hit points so I have an idea of, how much damage I can do to you to know whether or not you're just gonna instantly die from attacks and traps and that kind of things.
Yeah, I'm gonna fall over pretty soon.
All right.
Yeah, things are not looking good for you guys right now.
Nope.
That's all right. I'm about to finish this. I'm going to attack recklessly with Great Weapon Master because this has been working out every other attack. That's a 3 and a 4 on the dice.
I think you need to use different dice.
I have been using different dice. All right, hold on. Grabbing a completely different D20 here out of my dice tray. That wasn't even an action for the second attack. Great Weapon Master is an 18 on the die. Plus 7 is 25. That's a dirty 20.
That's
So that'll be 12 plus 4 is 60. That'll be another 18 points of slashing damage.
I mean, you're definitely doing damage. Well, I mean, I mean, how can you tell when fire's done? That's hard to determine.
Am I
But
still taking fire damage when I hit her?
you do. That's going to be a piddly 1.
All right.
Is that all you got?
Indeed. Wait.
Not gonna.
Nope, it's not. I keep forgetting. I have this bonus action shoulder check.
Right.
With a 17 on the die, that's going to be a 23 to hit.
That will do it.
And that is going to do 5 points of piercing damage from my jagged shell as I shoulder check her and probably take more fire damage.
Yeah, but it's another 1. My dice were rolling a lot of 1s in the last game I was playing, so definitely.
The good thing I remembered that I have that whatever it's called, reckless audacity or whatever. Because those 2 fire damages just burned my 2 temporary HP.
Oh, nice. All right, is that all I got, Rarick?
Yeah, I am done.
All right, Omen.
Okay, so dagger tail. I know a 16 doesn't hit. Does an 18?
An 18 does hit.
Woo! Okay, good, because the other attack is a 22. That's going to be 33 damage total.
All right, that is some serious hurting. Do some quick.
Apparently, all it took was them hurting Alvarez.
From Alvarez's perspective, I'm imagining these two kind of wading further into the lava as it goes through the route of like cooling and heating, but also being obscured by this mist that's slightly thinned by the fact that it's so dang hot in here. And to me, it's a really cool visual because I can barely see what's happening, but I can also kind of see a little bit.
So the creature, takes more damage from the ongoing spell. It does seem that it is adding up over the course of the battle. But she moves through it, without too much. This is the first time that anyone actually trained in insight.
Yes.
Quite well.
So those of you who are, actually see like that there's frustration on her face. It's harder to notice considering the fact that she doesn't have muscles and it's just a face formed out of flame. But as she kind of gets to the edge where Rarick is, she attempts to do the the same issue where she actually just comes right into the barbarian and just engulfs you in flame. You take 3 points of fire damage and then proceeds to attack the one that's
who takes 3 points of fire
above her head.
damage?
3.
Who?
You, Rarick?
As soon as she enters my space, and I set on fire, I fall to the ground.
Okay.
That is exactly how many hit points I had left.
All right. So the first attack goes wide against you, Alvarez, but the second strike hits AC 20.
I don't still have the thing up from Omen last battle, do I? The defense buff.
Hold on, let me see how long that lasts. Excuse me.
Those are words.
Those are words.
Unless it's an hour, you guys, clearly.
No, it's up to 10 minutes. It's
Yeah, so-
definitely down by now.
Yes, that'll hit then.
All right. So that is going to be 5 points of slashing damage and 6 fire, reduced to 3.
Oh, thank God. That's
Little
not
eight.
nearly as bad. I could survive that.
All right. So we are back to Bramble.
Seeing him go down, she's going to cure wounds. Rurik. And let's see, I'm going to do this at 2nd level. So that is
So
going...
you're casting Cure Wounds.
Yep.
Am I still engulfed
Just to
in
let
fire?
you know, you have to reach into her space. So you are going to take fire damage to touch him. Okay, just making sure.
This is what Fire Kitty would do.
All right, so you take 6 points of fire.
6 points? Okay. Okay, so then Jake, you're getting back mathing 11.
And I have to say that your fur is on fire.
Ted, can I retroactively do my thunder response thing again?
You want to use your reaction? Sure.
Yeah. DC 13.
DC 13 con, you said?
Yep.
That is going to be a 9, so no.
Okay, she takes 9 thunder lightning damage. One of the 9 lightning damage. And this time I'm not going to knock her back the
Okay.
10 feet.
You're going to keep her on top of the newly conscious portal.
Oh, then no, I will. I will knock her back 10 feet.
So then, retroactively, you do not take 6 points of fire damage, and your fur is not on fire. So
No, I feel bad because I would have kept it all if I had realized there were already actions going on.
no worries, no worries. Is that all you have, Bramble?
Yeah, because I'm not going to have my fire tiger feed the flame. Nope.
All right, Alvarez, you're up.
Okay, I will step to the side of Rurik, and then I will go ahead and cast Shatter on this. Oh, I guess I don't actually need to move. Yeah, no, I'm not going to move at all. I'm going to go ahead and just cast Shatter centered on this here lady, and then I'm going to empower it so it deals maximum damage. She has a DC 13 Constitution save.
DC 13 con. That is going to be a 19.
Okay, then I'm not going to max the damage because that only happens if I hit.
Okay.
Just going to use.
Takes half.
She'll take half. Yeah. So no, I'll max it.
Okay.
Which was 3d8, so that's
24.
24. So half that.
So 12.
Lightning.
All right.
Sorry, that one's thunder. I don't think the damage modifiers matter to her.
All right. So I have Alvarez.
Yeah.
All right, Rurik, you are prone, and the sleet storm is putting out the flames that would have been licking your body when the creature was pushed off of you. But you can stand up and move deeper into the sleet storm and engage the creature if you so desire.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. Ain't nothing gonna keep me down. Yeah, I'm gonna use half of my movement to rise to my feet, pulling myself up on the giggle axe, and wade into the fray once again.
It's only 10 feet, not really that much of an issue for you. The ground is kind of hot and kind of icy, so it feels weird to be standing there, but the ice is not really gaining much purchase.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna move in and desperately try to take her out. Quick question, because I don't remember this.
Sure.
I believe I know the answer, actually, though. It makes sense. My rage would have ended when I passed out, correct?
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm definitely angry Bonus
So,
action
I mean,
rage.
you can always use an extra rage.
Yep, I'm going to bonus action rage. And I'm going to attack recklessly.
Sure.
But not great weapon. No, screw it. Reckless and great weapon master. That becomes, let's see, that's an 11 to hit.
That's not going to do it.
All right, so let's try the second one, great weapon master. Dad nabbit. Every time I wade into a sleet storm, yeah, that's a 8 to hit.
Well, it's not going to do it.
Nope, and I bonus action to rage, so I am done.
All right. Omen.
Okay, so I've got a 23 to hit for only 5 damage.
Okay.
And the other attack was a miss.
All right. So with this thing, 10 feet into the storm, have you approached closer?
I mean, I would have had to have hit it, right?
Yeah, I'm just making sure you're. I try to make sure mentally I have this positioned. Normally, when I run games, I'm all about the battle grid and things, and I try to mentally have where everybody's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like to make sure everybody tries to have the same picture as I do. So, all right. So let's see here. The creature is pretty much dead set on Alvareth. So she is going to move through Rarick, and you're going to get your attack of opportunity. But you also take 9 points of fire damage as she does so. As she then continues past to go to the edge of the sleet storm.
That's a 14 on the attack of opportunity.
14 total?
Yeah.
All right, that's going to miss. So 18 is going to miss you, Alvarez.
Yes, it will.
But a 23, I believe, will hit.
That will, yes.
And that is going to be 7 slashing and 9 reduced to 4 fire.
So that's 12? No, 11. I have 1 hit point left.
Me both. Oh wait, sorry, I'm wrong.
Oh, okay. Good.
So 3 hit points, and it'll take you both out. Excellent. That brings us up to Bramble.
She's really quickly
Oh.
adjusting her character sheet, so
Yeah, our little side chat for those who aren't in the window with us are like negotiating of like, oh my god, what feats do we need to take? And
Yep, exactly. Reevaluate. Oh, I can actually help you both because all right, so for Namana. Let me look here. So then I'm going to cast 2nd level healing word on Alvareth as my bonus
Yay.
action. And that's going to be oh, that was actually a really nice roll. So that's going to be 10 points for you.
Yay.
And then for Rurik, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at 1st level.
Can't do 2 spells.
Can't do 2 spells, but one's a bonus action. No, not at all.
Not at
It's
all. You can do a
cantrip
spell
and
and a
spell.
cantrip.
Oh, it's not the cantrip. That's what it is. Arrgh,
It's all right.
I'm scrambling.
No worries.
Okay. I want that sleet storm to keep going is the only thing I'm thinking of.
It's doing a thing. Yeah, we should keep
It's
that
doing
going.
a thing. Okay. Then I'm going to God, I feel so freaking pathetic with this. I guess I will do a thorn whip at her.
Okay.
Then. So that is where'd my d20s go? Jesus Christ, there it is.
I just like pulled out every d20 I have because these ones I've been using suck.
So that's a 17.
17 will miss.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Alvarez, you're up.
Okay. Well, since people seem to be invested in me staying alive, I'm gonna go ahead and help them with that and heal myself. And maybe step back 5 feet. It's not gonna matter.
You're gonna step back 5 feet, leaving this thing's reach.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, that would be a bad idea. I'm just gonna go ahead and heal myself then. Yeah, we'll just do that. That sounds good. All right, I've healed myself for 6 health, and hiding behind my shield and hoping that Rerick survives long enough to, put an end to it.
Okay. Rarick, you're up. Your fire goes out, so you don't take further damage. You have 2 hit points. What do you do?
I will keep coming after you until you are nothing but burning embers. Reckless attack. Great weapon master. Hold on, let me make sure I'm using 2 completely different dice. That is a 16 on the die, which is going to turn that to an 11, which then makes it a 18 total to hit on the
18
first
does it.
attack. So that is another 12 on the die, so that's going to be 18 slashing damage for the first hit.
Plus 10.
Oh, yeah. 28.
All right. So, as you slay this thing and fall unconscious at the same time, taking 7 points, tell us what it looks like.
So yeah, I say that to her, and I've been sort of dragging the giggle axe behind me, and I just bring it upward in an arc, slashing it through her up to my elbows. And as the flames are looking down the axe, I just turn to the rest of the party and I look at them and just smile big. And fall over to the ground.
So, you all hear this childlike giggle. And for just a moment, you see the flames kind of flicker and linger on the axe as this thing just, the flames just go out. Uh, but Bramble, you're pretty sure that you saw some of it get pulled into the axe. But if the creature is gone, the turtle is unconscious, what do you do?
Lunge towards the turtle and heal him.
For the third time.
Yep, doing cure wounds for you. And that's going to be 12 points.
Plus another 7 points because I can't math good.
How many? 9?
12 and 7, so 19. How is how's Omen doing in health?
Just fine. I don't think I've been like hit much at all this combat. I'm good.
Okay.
So, you guys, saw that there was this statue. You saw that there was this, creature that was brought forth as the creature. For those of you who understand the ways of elementals, sadly, you know that it wasn't really destroyed, but just sent back to its plane of existence. Whether you guys actually, know that or take that in is, entirely dependent upon your knowledge of Arcana. But the heat around you diminishes. You visibly feel lava flow begin to slow and cool. It's not stopped, but you definitely feel that your actions here have stopped whatever things were going on. There might be some more investigating to be done. It'll be up to you guys as to how you handle it. But we're gonna leave things here, and we'll figure out what happens next time.
Mhm.
So I'd like to thank all of you for watching. I'd like to thank our wondrous players again. The links for them as well as RPG Crate is down in the section below. If you want to get these cool crates every month, compare, how I run the session versus what the prepared material is. See what kind of things that I've skipped over. Get yourself cool minis and T-shirts and whatever have you that's going to appear in each and every crate, just as I do. So you guys can say it with me if you want. Until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay
Hey,
nerdy.
Hey, nerdy.